weird. But very soon I discovered that she was a witch too. The second Dad would turn
Best animated MSA videos to watch. Number 1.
his back, she would go all crazy on me. You look like a filthy boy from a slum. And what's with your ugly hair? Ew. But Dad wouldn't listen to a word against her. He was so blindly in love. Soon after they got married, and the first thing Linda did was transfer all of Dad's money to her name. A year later, she gave birth to Tanya, who was the cutest. But slowly, Linda started revealing her real face to Dad too. One day, while Dad was getting ready for a business trip, Linda went all bonkers on him. I have a night out with my friends, and you want me to take these good-for-nothing kids with me? You better stay home and do it yourself. Don't talk to me like you're my boss. It's because of me that you get to enjoy all these luxuries. I work hard and I feed everyone here, so don't give me that attitude. Oh, who says I'm not the boss? Saying that, she threw the property papers in his face and asked him to leave her house. This was crazy. But what Dad did was even crazier. He left us forever, and I had to put up with my witchy stepmom. Now, Linda would spend all of Dad's money on shopping and her parties all day long, and not even care about Tanya. So I made sure to look after her, and over time, we grew quite close. One day, Tanya fell sick, and I asked Linda to go get her some medicine. But when she came back, her hands were full of shopping bags. And worse, she didn't get the medicine. Seriously, Linda? I can't believe you're doing this to your own daughter now. Okay, I forgot. What's the big deal anyway? It's just a fever. It'll go away on its own. But the important thing is, what will I wear? We overheard a huge fight between my parents. You've broken my heart, and now you've brought a reminder of that to live with us? She can't stay here. I
Number
won't
2.
raise a child that isn't mine. She has nowhere to go. Her mother's gone. I know you hate me right now, but please, don't take it out on her. She's just a kid. I didn't want Isabel to hear this, so I said, "Come on, I'll play something for you. What's your favorite song?" I didn't fully understand what was happening, but one thing was clear. Mom hated Isabel. She pretended like Isabel didn't even exist. But Dad and I adored her, and we more than made up for Mom's ice-cold attitude. But in the 8th grade, we got some news one day that turned our worlds around. Dad had been in a terrible car accident, and he was gone. We were all devastated, but Mom just shut herself up in her room for weeks. One night, I was reading a story to Isabel when Mom suddenly barged in. "What are you doing in my daughter's room? You're just a poor maid." Mom, are you okay? She's not a maid. This is Isabel, remember? How could I forget her? Everything bad that's happened to us is her fault. I stared in horror at Mom as Isabel started to cry. "Pack your things first thing in the morning, Isabel. You're going to be sleeping with the maids now." "What? No, she's not going anywhere." "Either she goes to the maids or the orphanage. This is her last night here." As Mom was leaving, she suddenly pounced at Isabel, grabbed her stuffed bunny, and threw it in the fire. "No, my mom made that." Isabel cried for hours. Sophie said you locked her in the closet for an hour. We heard her calling for us. What? Just then, I saw Sophie and she was smirking at me. "I just don't think
Number
I
3.
feel safe around Violet anymore, Mommy. How can I trust her after what she did? Guys, she's framing me. She locked herself up in the closet. And why would she do that? That's just twisted, Violet." Ugh, didn't my parents see how crazy Sophie was? None of them talked to me that night. They all watched MSA videos with a bowl of popcorn while I stayed in my room. But the next morning, my parents did the unthinkable. They made me move into the guest house. It was Sophie's idea. You two need space away from each other. We can't have this negativity in the house. So you're kicking me out? What, because I trapped her in the closet? I told you guys I didn't do it. It doesn't matter who did it. The point is, you two are toxic for each other right now. And at the moment, Sophie needs our attention more than you do. You have more friends and the world at your fingertips. It's just for a short time, Violet. I was speechless. I was being punished for literally nothing. And it was all Sophie's fault. I moved into our guest house that evening and didn't speak to any of my family members. In fact, I continued to ignore them for the next